So this is the 2015 Junior Cert High Level Paper 1 and we're looking at question number 12. Part A1 says factorise n squared minus 1. Okay, well n squared minus 1, what you should spot there is 1 is actually a square number, so that's n squared minus 1 squared. And when you have the difference of two squares, in other words a square minus another square, you can factorise by the first square root plus second multiplied by the first square root minus the second. So it's n plus 1 times n minus 1. Okay, so hence or otherwise answer the following question. The product of two consecutive odd positive numbers is 399. Find the two numbers. So hence means using what we just did. And you can see here that if n was even, well then an even plus 1 would give an odd, and the same even minus 1 will give the odd below it. So you'd have the odd above and below. So we can use this to help us. So the product of two consecutive numbers, the two consecutive odd positive numbers, so that's the n plus 1. Product means multiplied by the n minus 1. So again, when that is equal to 399, find the two numbers. So if we, first of all, if we can find n, well then, if we can find n, then we'll be able to find n plus 1 or n minus 1. Okay, now n plus 1 bracket n minus 1, if we do this top part in reverse now, we know that's equal to just n squared minus 1. And if that's equal to 399, we can then bring this minus 1 over here, becomes positive. So we have n squared is equal to 400. So that means that n is the square root of 400. So n is equal to 20. Now it could be minus 20 as well, but we know that the numbers are positive, so we're going to take the positive value. So n is equal to 20. Well, if n is 20, n plus 1 would be equal to 21, and n minus 1 would be equal to 19. So that's our two numbers, 21 and 19. And just a quick check, 21 times 19, if we just quickly check that in the calculator, we see that it gives us an answer of 399. So this is just a check, you don't have to do this, but it's good practice. So there's our answers, 19 and 21. So on to part B. Part B says divide x cubed plus 5x squared minus 29x minus 105 by x plus 3. Okay, well there's two methods that you can do for this. There's the long division of algebra, and then there's the grid method. So I'm going to try the grid method in this case. So with the grid method, what we know is that one of the factors is x plus 3. So we have the side of the grid like that. And we know to get a cubic expression, which we have here, if we're dividing a cubic by a linear, we're going to get a quadratic on top. So we know then that there's going to be 3 potential terms on top, up here. So what we can do is we can put the first value in there, and we can put the last value in here. So this is the setup for the grid method. So our x cubed is here and our minus 105 is there. Okay, so from this we can work out this term and this term. So What do I need to multiply x by to get x cubed? Well, that would be x squared. And if that's x squared, multiplying into the grid now, 3 by x squared, 3 by the x squared gives me positive 3x squared here. And now if I go over to this green number, what do I need to multiply 3 by to get negative 105? Well, I can just divide minus 105 by 3 in my calculator, and that gives me minus 35. So I know the number up here now, and if that's the number there, well then to fill this space I multiply x by minus 35, which is minus 35x. Okay, so now the only term that's missing is this one here, and what I can then do is, because of the way I've set the diagram up, I know that this term here and whatever term is in here, because this is going to be an x term here by an x term, so that'll give me an x squared term in here. I know that these two blue ones should add up to positive 5x squared. So because I know that, I know, what do I add to 3x squared to get 5x squared? Well, it's positive 2x squared. So I've now worked out this term, which means to find the missing bit up here, I just say, what do I multiply x by to get positive 2x squared? And the answer is positive 2x. And then just to finish it off, even though I now have my answer on top, well, let's just check then. 2x multiplied by the 3 here to fill in the final grid gives me 6x. And to show to myself that I'm correct, or just as a check, the 6x and the minus 35x should give me minus 29x, and they do, because 6x minus 35x is minus 25x. So my answer then is x squared, it's this expression up here, x squared plus 2x minus 35. And if you did the question by long division, you should have got that answer as well. Both methods would be acceptable. So that's the end of question 12.